Dave, the Lonely Monster by Anna Kemp and Sarah Ogilvie. It's another library book, isn't it, Frankie? Huh. Uh-huh. Once upon a time, in a retirement cave, lived a lonely monster. His name was Dave. In his bad old days, he'd been a pest. He romped. He roared. He made a mess. Till folks who like things nice and neat and don't like monsters on their street banished Dave to Echo Rock, lonesome as a single sock. Poor Dave. And there he stayed for 6 decades, just Dave and his guitar, strumming songs no one could hear from dusk to the morning star. I'm so lonely, lonely. And even worse, the local knights would try to get Dave to fight by laughing at his toothy grin, his wonky ears and his scaly skin. But Dave would never harm a flea. He's not the fighting sort, you see. He'd rather play some rock and roll, or take a bath to soothe the soul. I'm for the blowing bubbles. And then one day, as old Dave dozed, a cabbage bopped him on the nose. And then whack, a beetroot in the eye, foink! And whiz, an aubergine flew by, whooshing! Then leaping from behind the gorse, a tiny knight on a hobby horse waved a carrot at the sky. "Prepare to meet your doom," he cried. "How old are you?" the monster gasped.
"I'm 6,
said Tiny. "Since you asked. My name is Percival the Brave, and you're that fiendish monster, Dave." The monster rubbed his aching head. "Well, that's not very nice," he said. "Don't you know a proper knight is always kindly and polite? And though I might look fierce to you, we monstrous beasts have feelings too." Percy hadn't thought of that. He stopped and stared, subdued, then blushed down to his boots and said, "I'm sorry I was rude." So Percy took a nightly pledge to give up throwing rotten veg, and by the time the week had ended, knight and beast were best friended. Ho-ho. They shared a taste in Monster Rock. Took a spin around the block. Watched the jousting on TV. Woohoo! At last old Dave had company. I think they got on. Do you?
Yeah.
But back in town, across the bay, folks got grumpier by the day. Tranquility had reigned for years, and everyone was bored to tears. They sighed, you know. "You know what would be smashing? A good old-fashioned monster bashing. Why don't we make a day of it? Now that we should perk up us up a bit." So they grabbed some mushy fruits, some rotten veg and mouldy roots, and headed out to Echo Rock, where Dave was knitting winter socks. Then, just as they were taking aim, a furious knight with eyes aflame came charging through the swelling crowd. "Knock it off!" he cried aloud. What's this nonsense? Can't you behave? Is that any way to treat old Dave? You may rock out from time to time, but is that such a dreadful crime? Now chuck out those potato peelings and spare a thought for old Dave's feelings. The townsfolk all felt mighty humbled. We didn't mean it, Dave, they mumbled. Dave smiled and shook his massive head. If you really want some fun, he said, then put away that salad bar and let me fetch my bass guitar. Ho-ho! And so they went down to the cave and had themselves a monster rave. Fantastic. They danced and sang and danced some more. But some moves on Dave's dance floor had a riot. Learn to jive. That looks like a good party, doesn't it?
And look at the mice.
And got more monster in their life, yeah! So old Dave got his groove back on. And was alone. No more. Yay. Big hug. Thanks to a fiercely gentle knight who knew that he would rather fight for love and peace, not war. Ah. Dave, the Lonely Monster by Anna Kemp and Sarah Ogilvie.